Hey Dave, we got to talk to Zach a little bit ago. I'm just kind of curious where you think he's sort of at just with his swing and coming back from the injury.
I think it's coming. I think he had a 5 or 6 day rehab assignment. He had back quality. He's always consistent, but I think that just getting some knocks has been very helpful. Get him there tomorrow. We'll play him in right field, and then the next day on Sunday, play him at third base. So getting him a few starts a week will certainly help, but yesterday had a really nice day driving a run and hitting that ball through the 4 hole too.
I mean, obviously you have Chris Taylor and he's been versatile and played all over the field, but to have a second guy who can do that, how helpful is that for you now?
It's great. I think that the production is certainly one thing, but the versatility on the defensive side to give guys days off to still take competitive at bats is just kind of helps the roster make more sense. And obviously, if you look at the last 6 years, having guys that are versatile just adds to the depth. And Zach is a homegrown player and is very additive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is Juan Toribio. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, you have Will Smith catching Kershaw today. Is everything okay with Austin?
Austin's fine. It was just more of with the ankle injury, wasn't able to post until yesterday. And so now to get Will to catch 2 out of 3, it just makes sense. So he'll catch tonight, tomorrow. And also just to have the versatility, the ability to move the catchers around to pitchers and just in the case that something does happen, as far as an ankle injury that could be more long-term to either catcher that is unforeseeable, having the repetitions and they're familiar because they catch pens and spring trainings. But in a season, I think that's only beneficial for everybody.
And we see Corey here throwing and taking some ground balls. Any progress with him as far as hitting?
Well, he, as I understand it, this last couple of days, he's taken swings with both hands with a tennis ball. So he's hit tennis balls, so the impact isn't as great. And so I would assume here in the next couple of days, we'll ramp up to a Major League Baseball.
Would he have to go through like a scan before he starts taking some swings off baseballs, or is everything just kind of healing well?
I think his last scan was about a week ago, and I think it's every few weeks that they take the scan. So I would probably say no. And it's more right now to his pain tolerance.
And then with Clayton, he's obviously been pretty good this year, but his last 2 starts haven't been as good. Has there been any difference that you can kind of pinpoint as to why he's had some sort of struggles in the last 2 starts?
No, there's really nothing in the sequence or the delivery. It's more of just being victim of that big inning. And with Clayton, when he gets 2 outs, usually you put an end to the inning, and that just hasn't happened in 2 separate innings in 2 different ball games. But if you look at the body of work over the collection of innings, it's been really good. There's been a lot of zeros, but again, victim of that one big inning. So he's an easy guy to bet on that you can kind of minimize damage if it does get to that.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Fabian Ardaya. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, just sort of following up on that. Like, is there something to like maybe just having a different look behind the plate that sort of maybe could help lock Clayton back in to avoid some of those bigger innings? Because I know he's historically avoided them in the past.
There could be something to that. I just think that we believe in and like both of our catchers. Obviously, there's a comfort level with Clayton and Austin, but the way that it's played out right now, I definitely don't think that it's a bad thing to have Will catch him. But regardless, I still think that every time he takes him out, I think he's going to throw the baseball really well.
And then with you said McKinstry starting in right tomorrow. Would that be a day off for Mookie then?
Mookie will be in center tomorrow. And
Okay.
I think tomorrow we're in a stretch here of 9 games. So I want to give Cody and Gavin a day off and to get them ready for the day game on Sunday.
And I think last time we talked, you said that Mookie was close to really approaching some power. Obviously, he had the home run in Pittsburgh. I mean, do you have a feeling that like a stretch is sort of coming for him, like that sort of hot stretch that we've been waiting for?
Yeah, it's coming. I alluded to it a few days ago, and I just think that it's in line with his aggressiveness and his ability to put balls in play, move them forward, slug them when they're in the strike zone is elite. And that just kind of will enhance itself when he's aggressive. So I've just seen that aggressiveness and the confidence in his mechanics over the last week. And that's what kind of prompted me to say that.
Thanks, Dave.
Next question's from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Dave, Jimmy Nelson, I think last pitched last Friday. Just wondering, how's he doing coming off the DL or IL? Excuse me.
It's one of those things that we just haven't had that opportunity. So if I look at tonight, he's a priority guy. There's some runs that really lend themselves to him. And so regardless of how Clayton pitches tonight, I'm going to really make sure we try to get him in there. And rest is good, but also you still got to pitch to stay sharp. So like I said, Eric, he's high priority tonight.
And then you talked about versatility earlier with your position players. You're currently carrying 14 pitchers. Do you see that continuing for a little bit?
I think certainly for the foreseeable future, I think that we're comfortable where we're at. Things can certainly change if something happens, certainly with a position player or a guy in the pen or a pitcher, something like that.
Thanks.
Last question from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Dave, going to try and get you to speculate along with me on Corey Seager. Is he maybe less than a week away from taking batting practice?
So I don't, it would be easier, Bill, if I knew exactly when he was going to take swings with a Major League Baseball versus a tennis ball with two hands. I think that once he does that, it would be a couple days after that we'll get him in batting practice, and then we can set up some live sessions. So, it's just really hard for me to pin that down right now.
I'll do it for you. Is he about 2 weeks away from a rehab assignment?
I think that's fair. I like that. That sounds reasonable.
And the length of that rehab, you only went 5 games with Cody when he'd been out for 7 weeks. Are we going to see longer for Corey?
I think I would say 7 games is probably the floor.
Thank you, Dave.